good, you know. I had a bit of a fluster just now because
Oh yeah.
the lip gloss. So because it would have been really good if I had my lip gloss, but now it's just got me without lip gloss.
Well, just welcome to the world of a saxophone player because we never wear it.
That's a very good point, and that is, I definitely know when I'm like, can everyone wear red lipstick? Okay, horn players, don't tell me we can't do it. We can't do it.
I do it for photo shoots, but I have special like reeds for photo shoots. They look like a bloodbath afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for anyone who is joining us now, howdy, and thank you so much for joining us on this chat. I run the Chic and Jam. My name's Keisha, and what we usually do is we have a jam once a month that we're obviously unable to do now. So I miss my girls. I miss jamming with them. But what I thought was very important was to have a bit of a chat with some of them because you guys are really, well, we all are really going through this and this epidemic. And it would just be really, really great to sort of unite and just have a chat and see where we're all at. And I chose you, Leah, first for a few reasons, but one which I think will become obvious is your positivity, which one is so amazing all the time, but also really nice about your positivity, if I'm really honest. You're not annoying with it. It's refreshing for me. And I'll say that as a positive person, you know, I'm not always positive at all. But before I go into how wonderful you are, let's discuss a bit about you. What's your name and where did you come from?
My name is Leah. Hello. I feel like I'm at school. Hello. And my favourite ice cream flavour is I come from, born and bred in North London in Barnet. And I started making music when I was tiny weeny. And I now do music self-employed with many different music hats full time, and have been doing that for about 15 years now.
So tell us about some of your hats that you wear.
Okay. So primarily, I put myself out as a saxophonist, sax player. And so I do lots of gigs with your lovely self as well, in full function bands, in acoustic roaming stuff, a lot of DJ live stuff, some artist gigs, and then I've been secretly dabbling as well now on keys, but I also teach. I know I teach woodwinds and piano, and I'm super involved with music at my church as well, so it's just lots of different music types that I kind of do. Is your little one woken up?
Yeah, I think I've woken her up. Don't worry. Babies wake up and they go back to sleep. That's what happens. So how have you found your situation as a musician since the COVID-19 corona?
It's been bizarre because literally overnight, I was counting it all up. I lost masses of work. And it was completely out of my control. And even though, you know, you have contracts and you have all these things and you have like literally months and months of dates and you think I'm secure for work, all of a sudden like that, it was gone. And it was nobody's fault. So frequently when gigs are cancelled, you're like, oh, this person didn't pay or the contract wasn't correct or this person did this. So that you could, not that you'd want to blame someone, but you couldn't really go, oh, it was this.
Well, you see, do, because if you blame someone, then they're liable, then they can pay a deposit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But this was nobody's fault, and also the whole world's in the same boat. And so that was all gone. And then I teach, which I'm really thankful I teach because I'm not a person who enjoys routine. Hi, Laura. And so. And so actually I restrict teaching days because that helps my brain cope a bit better when I have less routine, actually, weirdly, other than a lot of people. And so I've been teaching entirely online, and now trying to get more of it and kind of build up recording online at home on keys and on sax and on woodwinds as well, but still at the same time, some gigs are postponed and like getting dates for next year, but a July and August date's still happening. So it's a bit of an unknown boat at the moment.
And how did it feel when everything started to crumble for you? I know you said that it was no one's fault, but I mean, without putting any words in your mouth, I know.
So I feel like I'm in a really privileged position in that, privileged, maybe that's the wrong word. I'm in a very thankful position in that I live with family and I teach. So for me, financially, I actually had a security net. And I've seen so many of my colleagues lose all of that because they're not teaching, or they live in a place where they're paying rent on a studio and they're paying rent on a flat and all this kind of stuff. So I feel kind of in a very, not unfairly, because that's not what the situation is, but I know that I'm in a very blessed position and thankful position. I felt a little bit that I had to make sure because for me, I do my job because I love it. And I love playing, like it's an emotional connection for me, that I needed to make sure I was also getting that creativity out in different ways. And how could I use this gift of time, which I do have because I don't have family commitments to look out for, and I don't have another job that would take up lots of time. So I am actually one of those people in the position of having time. How do I use that creatively, wisely, but also don't give myself a hard time if I can't do a billion things at once?
Of course. And okay, so with that in mind, you know, you're saying that you teach anyway, and it's now gone on. Has that given you time in general?
Just need more time. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Has it given you more time? I'm going to presume so, because you don't have to travel to work or travel back. But then there's the other side of, you've got to now prep for an online lesson.
Yeah. So that's, I have more time. I have more time, and the only thing weirdly is it's more exhausting because especially because when you teach the younger ones, they pay attention better in front of a screen than they do in real life. So I come out of it and I've been teaching, and then I'm exhausted. And then I've had a few more adult students come, and adult students require completely different brain space as well anyway, because they're coming with different ears and experiences and frustrations that you just don't find with little ones so much. But I do have a lot more time. I'm currently busy 2 or 3 days a week, and one of those days I'm actually busy because my church is now streaming a service. So I'm recording 2 services at home here, then sending it off, and that's being done as well, which is taking a fair bit of time. But yeah, there's lots of other spare time.
And you mentioned, because this is something I personally love about your positivity, if that's the right word, is the fact that you are a Christian, and don't let me put any words in your mouth.
I am. I am a Christian.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's some, you know, there's many different, you know, denominations. Is that the right word?
Yeah. Yes, correct. It's totally right. Yeah.
But what I love in the right way, you don't push it down anyone's throat. In fact, for me, the way that you are as a person projects what I believe someone with a faith should do, and it's like you stand what they're about by the way they live, not by what they're telling you should do. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you found that your faith has been it's been helpful at a time like this, or is it a time when you're just like, you know, what?
I think as someone who has faith, both responses are natural and to be expected and okay. Like if you're struggling with your faith right now because you don't understand the world, that's great. Talk to God about it. He wants to listen. But I think for me, like, it's a great sense of trust. Like, I know that I have hope, and I know that God is there and is real, and is still my rock and my redeemer, and someone I trust in every moment. And for me, that articulates itself from, okay, I don't understand where work's going to come from, and I don't understand why this person is struggling and this person isn't, or this person, but I know that I trust God with that, and that he gives me my hope and sustains me in every part of my life, and music is one facet of that. But I found my faith a tremendous comfort, and I find that encouraging as well, because it's not just in times of difficulty, it's in times of plenty and in times of joy and humour. That is still who I am and where I place my identity.
Yeah, and I can say, as testimony of someone who works with you, I have seen that it is your joy to be around. Do you know what I mean? And it's your faith for me isn't overpowering, or it's not. I don't know if the right word is overshadowing, but I just it what you believe in is clear by who you are as a person, you know. And
well, praise the Lord.
Yeah, for me that is, and that is encouraging, and encourages me to go, do you know what? Let me check out some more about this Christianity or godliness, because it means that I can be a bit like Leah. Then
Bless you. Yeah.
Which is lovely.
Yeah.
And in looking at your situation now, though you say you're in a very privileged position, I know for me, if I'm honest, you know, the complete opposite of you. I have more than one mortgage to pay. I have a child. I have people to pay. I have, you know, work that was cancelled. I also have a holiday rental property.
Yes.
But, you know, I was planning on going big this year, like everyone, you know.
Yeah.
It's all just gone, no, baby. Take several seats, you know, and it has made me think, okay, there are things that I need to change for the future, so I'm not in this position again. And you never know, because like you said, that no one knew this was going to happen. Right? No one. Though in looking at it now, just seeing where it has come from and where we are now, you turn around and go, oh, could have made some precautions if, you know, because the way that this has happened has been very natural, to be quite honest. It's just come from one place and it's just filtered its way over, and you know, is there anything that you feel that you would have changed to safeguard yourself for you know, just as work-wise, as far as insurance as a musician, or you know?
That's a really good question. So deeply at my core, I'm very sensible. And so I think I found myself actually planning for these situations already a little bit. Like, I'm a saver and I have a pension scheme set up because I'm never going to have a state pension that will ever support me. And I started that 15 years ago. But I realised that's for way later. I'm very thankful that I had my teaching, so having another stream of income, and because it can be done online, which none of us really, it's been hilarious. All of a sudden, like, the internet is full of like, how can I teach 5,000 children via Zoom and child protection? It's great. Everyone's been so great at skill sharing at the moment. But having that security and knowing that I'm with that people, so not having all, I mean, it's literally, it's the same. It's not having all the eggs in one basket, isn't it? And I'm not sure, having spoken to many colleagues, there is any contract that would have protected any musician, unless you are salaried and can be furloughed, and even that hasn't been happened all the time. But I think there is a very wisdom to saving, and I sound like a granny, got lots of grey hair, but there's wisdom to saving, and to not, I'm a bit of a believer of not being in, like, not buying things on credit, and having, like, I would save for something and then get something, as opposed to the other way around. But saying that, I'm also a believer in, if your friends need money, lending it to them interest-free and openly, which again can be, you know, some people might be like, no, but at the same time, you've got to love people sincerely and openly. And
I think, do you know what, it's paper, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm starting to get more like, Keish, you can't just, or you've got to appreciate you may not get that back, and I can't do it all. I also think I want to make a lot of money, so I can't sit there holding it all to myself.
Yeah.
It's, you've got to want to make it so you can be able to help others as well.
That's exactly it. That's so right. And I mean, when we leave this world, we won't have any of it anyway, which is not a reason not to work hard and to save and to grow. That's not what that's saying. But admitting that actually even financial stuff is also out of your control. You work hard. Yeah, we all work hard. But, you know, we've always seen, you know, 2008 when we had the financial crash, people who had money also lost it in there. So we're on a very uneven ground. And I think I've found that what actually gets you through this time, whilst paying the rent and having food to eat, is very, like, please, like, hear me when I say that. I know I've got friends who don't have enough money to put food on the table, and so I'm hearing that. But loving people and checking in with them and being a really true friend is like a true friend, like not someone who's like, oh yeah, how are you doing? No, what can I do for you? How can I pray for you? How can I check in on you regularly? Asking people what they need is very important at the moment. And not just pay lip service to it, but to be like, oh, how are you doing? Yeah.
And what about things like, and I once again, I can say as someone who, I run my company and I have a lot of girls on my database.
Yeah.
And I try to encourage without being forceful, in ways by saying that to the girls, like, girls, be very, I'm not telling you to be fake.
Yeah.
But trust me, by being nice to each other, it is doing it. You know, you I'm sure you've read my members page where I say, girls, if someone's dropping you somewhere, buy
check
them a
in.
coffee.
Yeah, exactly right.
That, do you see what I mean? That, just be nice. You don't have to, you know, if someone's driving you to a gig, you know, I'm not saying you have to always give the money, but, you know, just be, but, you know, buy them a coffee, do something.
You're right.
One coffee could get you a gig.
Yeah, and it's a generous heart, isn't it?
Exactly.
And actually, I frequently think, whilst I love music, what I love about being a musician is you get to meet so many people, and you get to love on them and be like, you are new, tell me about you. And I like that opportunity to go, right, how can we be a friend, or how can I love you better, and how can I serve you better? And that's not to say that everyone is easy to love and everyone is brilliant. And I'm sure
as someone who runs a
that's
company,
on me as well.
I love
like,
the girls. Not all of them are easy to love. I'll be the first to say.
And I'm sure
the same about me.
Yeah, exactly. Same about me as well. But it's so exciting when you get to meet new people and new gigs and travel with them. And it's an insane environment because you are intensely with people. You don't see people frequently, but when you see them, it's for like 12 hours, 48 hours. It's like,
yeah.
It's a different type of colleague, isn't it?
Yeah. And would you have, I mean, you said that you're very fortunate, be in the sense of you live at home with your parents, and, you know, you teach, which is very sensible. I don't teach. I enjoy it when I do it, and I'm not a teacher.
And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. But I'm a believer in having more strings to your bow, whether that could be you selling stuff on eBay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely.
Side hustle.
Yeah. That's wisdom, isn't it, though? That's a wise thing to do.
It is. But, you know, there are two sides of it. Some people will turn around and say, you know, stick to one thing and not be, was it jack of all trades? Jack of all trades and master of...
Yeah.
You know, so would there be anything else that you would look at that's non-musical because of this situation that you would turn around and go, oh, I'll go into, I don't know.
Oh, that's really interesting. So I have thought about it, but it's never a reality because I'm so emotionally tied to creating music. But I did and do every 6 months look at training to be like a counsellor or a therapist or something. Yeah, because I think that would be a consistent job, and you can, you know, but it's to do it well and to do it thoroughly is like years and years and years of retraining. And I think I've just settled on just being a good friend to the best I can without a qualification. But I think, but having said that, you know, in the last few weeks, we've all learnt skills that we never needed before, whether it's online teaching. See, look at Kat, she's like 5 years because Kat's retrained. She's like, Kat,
and it's from how I met you, actually. Kat was like, oh,
yeah.
I know this and you're going to really love her. I was like, I'll be the judge of that. You know,
that's my response. When somebody says you'll love this, I'm like, I'll choose if I love it.
They love everyone. Don't just presume I'm going to love them. She's like, you're going to love them.
Oh, lovely Kat. She's a superstar. But we are learning skills, like whether it's online, whether it's promo, whether it's marketing, whether it's how to build a website, whether it's how to record well, whether it's how to, like, I'm during this time actually learning how to play keyboard properly, because of some She Can Jam stuff, actually. And I've had great friends who, I was talking about it earlier, we're kind of skill sharing. They're like, I'm like, I need somebody to teach me the basics of, in my case, Nord keyboards. And my friend sat down with an hour and taught me this. And I have another friend that says, I need some help with basic music theory. And I'm like, great. And I think...
So, sorry to cut you, because that's a really, really good thing.
Yeah.
So it's something you would advise, skill sharing. That's a really good thing.
And and 90, I'd say in most circumstances, there'll be a reciprocal skill, because, you know, we can't all afford to pay for extra lessons or whatever. But I've got a friend who wanted to learn basic piano, and she's going to help me with some Logic stuff because I just need to know more about Logic. So you know, it's kind of mutual sharing. And I mean, if they're friends, I'm happy to do it anyway. But there's also people often want to say, I'm good at, you know, I've got this skill. What do you need? And I think I've had time with Logic, helped run with Sibelius, done some piano theory and Nord, and that's just because we're in a position where we're like, yes, I have got an hour to sit down and teach you or teach me this. It's so great.
I think that's a really, really brilliant idea, actually. And I mean, it's a little bit harder for me because I can't be so specific with my times with a baby.
Of course.
A growing baby who is changing so much all the time.
How old is she now?
And she is 9 months and is in everything. She sort of pulls stuff out. Basically, whatever I tidy up, she messes up. That's just. And Laura's asking, can you teach her sound?
Oh, yes, Laura. Yes, you can teach us the guitar chords, Laura.
What's that? Are you teaching?
Well, Laura's a good friend. She's she's a phenomenal guitarist, singer, DJ lady, and she did this is the other thing that's great about this time is people are doing great live streams. Sorry?
Say that again?
I said what's great
so you were saying what's great
is that people are doing live streams. Like, it's so great, and sharing, like, Laura did a great live stream on her on her Facebook last Friday, and it was brilliant. And I've seen jazz ones, and I've seen.
Laura,
sorry.
Look, can you let us know about these live streams? What she DJ? Because she DJs guitars.
Laura Williams. She does guitar singing, and so I do some stuff with her, and she also DJs. So she's a powerhouse of music, and but we have our little thing in that we're exactly the same age. She's 2 hours older than me, so we have our little like.
But you know, she loves you so. I've heard this. I think this might be the 4th time she told me this.
It's because we met on a gig and our minds were like, what? And it felt like we were like at, you know, year 5 at school and just discovered something like, oh, guess what?
You're my twin.
Yeah. And she grew up in Harrow, so that's just a few miles down the road anyway.
Bless you both. So that's the skill sharing, I think, is brilliant. It's a really good idea, and it's a great time for us to just pull together and just go, look, I've been, for example, with me, I'm crap at Excel, and in fact, do you know what? I've got skills to share, so I would love if anyone good at Excel and wants to offer an hour, I can teach you
many
stuff. Teach you how to sing, I hope.
Yeah.
If you had any advice for anyone out there, what would for another musician, what would you, or create another creative, I would say, what advice would you give them?
It's funny, we're all in the same boat, isn't it? So we're all going to have similar things. But I think firstly, just keep going. I think this feels like we're in a never-ending time, but this time will pass. This is not forever. And there's these two streams of thought at the moment, isn't there? Which is use your creative time to create Beethoven, and there's another time which is like give yourself a chill pill. It's totally okay to take time for yourself. They are both equally valid. Yeah. And I think that's really important, because you see on socials it can be a pit for your brain, can't it? Like, oh, they're doing this, oh, but they're doing that. And so I think whatever you choose.
I'm just so sorry. The amount of people who put on makeup during the day, flipping out. This took me a long time. I haven't even.
This is my first time in like 2 weeks.
Too much.
So yeah, just it's my mum. So just to keep going, and also if you find yourself in a mental space to create, that's brilliant. Like, great. If you don't feel guilty about taking time off as well. But I would say also keep going, and I'd say reach out to other creatives as well, because it's a great time to encourage, to create something new, to be inspired by what they're doing as well, and to encourage, I think proactively encourage other self-employed and other creatives. Like my friend is she does baby stuff, grizzly bear, like pouches and stuff. She had a sale. It was great to get involved in that. I know Daisy Cool has got a hashtag of daily music share, where she's kind of saying let's every day support independent artists. So she's got that hashtag of daily music share, which she's doing. So Daisy Cool, so her handle is Saxy Cool with an E at the end. So she's doing that, and like Sammy Nathan's about to put the music out as well. There she is. There she is. So
put your hashtag down so we can.
Yeah, and then we can all see it. So we can see the hashtag, Daisy. Yeah. So
I think
support, get involved.
Support and get involved. Is there any music that you're listening to at the moment?
So I go for like slightly more chill stuff. So I really like listening to Red Hands. They're kind of an American gospel funk soul vibe, which is really, I love. And also kind of the even more chill, like Moonchild. I love what they're doing. I'm so gutted, like they were recently in the UK and I missed them. But also enjoying on a completely guilty moment, I just recently got rid of my physical CDs because I was like, I'm not 17, I don't need my Robbie Williams CD. However, I decided I still needed to listen. I've been listening to all of my teen Robbie Williams Spice Girls, which is what I grew up with, on Spotify, and loving it, and I know every word. So that's bringing a lot of simple joy of like, yes,
listening to know every word to Spice Girls, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So all those yes. Laura says Leah loves jazz because we went on a road trip and I was like, this isn't jazz. It's like neo soul or like some like early funk. She's like, it is jazz. But yeah. Lots. Red Hands and Moonchild. I love them.
Red Hands. I'm going to be checking out Red Hands.
So cool. Anyway.
I have. Oh wow, we have. What is the time? Do you know what?
It's 7:01.
We have now gone over times, and but it has been totally worth it. But they're bad. Is that for Red Hands? I'm going to be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because they've got this a big gospel background as well, so it's like numbing.
Karen, we're going to actually be talking to Karen on another Monday. That lady, a wealth of knowledge, and changed my life.
She is
such a joy. Last week, because I don't remember what day it is. I don't know who I am.
It's Monday. She can jam day.
Monday. And we spoke last week, so I would love to share some of her knowledge with you guys. But it has been an absolute delight and pleasure talking to you as always.
Thanks.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's tell everyone what your Instagram is. Just
my one.
You.
My one. Oh, I'm at Leah Sachs, which people now think is my last name, but
I sometimes think that your name's Leah Sachs, and I have to remind myself that you're not.
I mean, it was a rebranding thing, and then it worked way better. I started getting posts.
I didn't see your hands move.
because I went so close to the screen, you couldn't actually see my hands.
I thought you wanted to give me a kiss, and there she
Oh!
was.
Looks like my nephew who does that. He's like,
Well, my darlings, have a lovely rest of evening. Thank you so much. Oh no, wait. Now we're not sure if we're totally going to do this. Are we able to give the people a bit of a treat?
Yeah, I'm happy to play.
Now, because we're not able to have our jam.
Yeah.
I have asked Leah if she was able to play a song, just so you can see how wonderful she is. She's absolutely amazing, and she is going to bless us with a little song.
I'm going to play you a little thing. I decided, in the spirit of jamming, to have a little jam with the only other person here. Well, my parents are here. My mum is greatly musical, as is my dad. But I've just done some changes and recorded them, and I'm going to basically play over myself playing the keys.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Is that all right?
And you said something along the lines of, if I remember, because I've just remembered that we discussed it, that this jam may be available for other musicians.
Yeah, so the piano, just a little groove on chords. It would be great if we just made that that stem available. We could add bass, add keys, and actually have all of our people getting involved and adding stuff on. There's no sax on it yet, but I can definitely record some sax on it.
Let's make it happen, babe.
All right, this is 2.5 minutes of. It has no name yet. The She Can Jam tune. Right, here we go.
Nameless.
Nameless.
Take it away. Darling, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe.
When is the next interview for me to watch in? When's the next She Can Jam interview?
I'm going to do this every Monday. We're going to have chats, whether we're going to have chats. I'm going to try and sort out some live jams. Just going to keep it going. Keep each other positive.
Great.
Give each other ideas. Just share ideas, guys. Just, get in contact with other musicians. Other creatives, because it's not just about musicians as well. We are all in this together, and I just want to thank every last one of you for just coming. I love you very, very, very much, And enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Thank you so
Bye.
much. And
Bye.
tell people every Monday.
Every Monday. Every Monday.
Every Monday.